Hey everyone.
Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV Live Q&A. Tonight we have a great show tonight.
And it's a holiday weekend.
It's a holiday weekend, and we have a viewer showcase, and we have a premiere of a video starting at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
And we have lots of questions, and welcome everyone.
Yeah, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. I know it's a holiday weekend and some of y'all are out of town. Ray won't be here with us tonight, but we want to make sure we say hi to him and give him a thumbs up. Hey Ray, we're sorry you couldn't make it tonight, buddy.
He's busy with family.
Busy with family.
And we welcome everyone here tonight. If you have a question, put it in the chat with a Q.
Please do.
And we'll be happy to answer.
We sure will. Yeah.
Okay. LaRonda's here and Julie is here, and I believe those are the two for the is that who?
Well, let's see. We have Julie Graves is in the spotlight tonight.
In the viewer
In the
showcase.
viewer showcase.
And
LaRonda is in the showcase.
And Pauline, I know you sent me a photo, but
Where did it go?
Where did it go? I saw it, but it didn't come in my email, and when I went to track it, I couldn't find it. So please resend it to me at viewershowcase@gmail.com. That's the new address for Viewer Showcase. That way they won't go to my
Right, and
regular
the only thing
email.
that goes in there is Viewer Showcase, so that's good.
And it has to come by email, please. Send it by email.
Right, viewershowcase.com. I don't know how Barbara got that.
No, it's not Viewer Showcase. No, I know. It's viewershowcase@gmail.com. Yes.
I don't know how Barbara got that because, you know, there's a lot of Gmails.
So that's easy to remember, viewershowcase@gmail.com. So send an email, and that way, definitely it'll go to the right place. Because if I get it another way, I have to go Facebook, Messenger, and so.
And look through all those things. So anyway, we apologize because we couldn't find it. But please resend it,
please,
Pauline, so that we can get it on. Please.
Woodpecker.
I know. Thumbs up and a satty face.
What? Did she respond?
Yeah, Pauline did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Pauline.
Sorry about that, Pauline.
So we'll get you next time. We got a good glass chat tonight for everybody. We're going to talk about soldering. Woo!
Soldering.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to show you a quick, easy way to solder for those of you that are just starting out, because we know how frustrating soldering can be. And, you know, you can be the greatest glass cutter in the world, but if you don't know how to solder, we'll have to make sure that we know how to do that as well.
Okay, Carol R. is here, and she's new to Stainedglass too. So we have a couple newbies here. Welcome everyone that's new here. The regulars, if you'll just say hello to our new people. We have two new people tonight that are just starting out in glass.
Right.
And
our good friend Susan Horton is checking in from Seattle.
Oh,
wow, Susan! Hey, it's good to see you.
Where did you see that? I didn't see.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
There she is. Hey, Susan. Hey, we miss you too, hot hugs.
Yeah, we miss you.
Good to see you. You've been having some terrible weather out there, huh? So anyway, I hope everybody's well. Watching that grandbaby grow up really quick.
I hope everyone made it through the storm last week. It looks like we got some more hurricanes out there. Hopefully none of them will come our way.
Yeah, let's everybody just keep everybody in mind.
And so if you have a question, put it in the chat. I did have some questions come in that came in late, so we didn't have a chance to answer them online, so we can answer them here tonight. Michelle is new to Stainedglass.
Hi, Michelle.
And she wanted to know, can you drill small holes in glass for jump rings?
You know, you probably could, but I don't think it's not like a earring. Every time you put metal with glass, it becomes detrimental to the glass. And I don't think, I mean, I'm sure that somebody has probably done it. And, you know, they drill holes in it to hang and make wind chimes out of. So, you know what? I would say if it works for you, Michelle, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and drill the holes in it and put your jump ring through that if that's what.
And what would she be doing? Her jump ring through the glass? A hole in the glass?
Yeah, a hole in the glass. So,
jump ring.
Yeah, so, I mean, it would kind of work similar to an earring maybe when you're putting the post, you know, the earring part in. Or or what have you. I would give it a try, but typically glass and metal don't work together real well, especially if there's going to be any kind of friction between the two of them. So.
Okay. Carol said that she's working on her first larger piece, 14 by 22, and is nervous about turning it over when soldering.
Okay, you ready? I don't have anything big enough here to show you how to turn it over, but
I think you
I think I show it in the video tonight. I think in the premiere there's a flip. Well, it has to be a flip, but I'm not sure if I go into it in detail.
So you want to lift it?
You want to slide it out onto your arms like this. Barbara, make your arm a piece of glass across my arms. Like that, onto your, and then you're gonna pick up, and that glass is gonna turn up just like that, and then you're gonna hold it, turn it around, and let it lay right back down onto your arms. Because believe it or not, when you lay that down, there's a little tiny bit of air cushion going to get trapped between the air between the glass and your surface. Mm-hmm. Just a little tiny bit. And that'll help you lay it down. But don't Willy McNilly it. Get it up and get it down. You know, yes. Don't play around and say, oh boy, that's beautiful. Don't do that. Go, whoosh, get it down and whoosh, get it up.
We do have a couple flips in some video. I think in the last couple of videos on the project, Merle's Inlet project, wasn't it, Julie, that we did the flip? I think.
Well, it may be, but we also did the flip is, the Merle's Inlet project. Well, no, we did flip the Snug Harbor windows.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because the big ones are being flipped on the table.
But tonight he does a flip, so it
and I may do a flip tonight, yeah. So, hey, Julie, good to see you tonight. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Welcome to the ARTyRV channel.
We have a question from the Legend 27. Do you teach students how to create glass?
We do.
We do.
Yes, we do. We do.
We have our schedule is online at conwayglass.com. If you want to find out more about us, go to conwayglass.com and go to the ARTyRV page, and you'll see everything there, all the links, all the
and all of our
classes and everything.
Beginner classes and lead classes and everything are all taking place after the first of the year, Barb? Is that true?
I think we're pretty much booked until January, but we have a beginner class that's available in January, so it would be a good time to sign up, because I have a feeling that will probably be sold out for Christmas.
Yeah, for a Christmas holiday, a lot of people buying gift certificates. But yes, we do teach classes, and we have been teaching classes for over 25 years.
Another question from the same individual that's a newbie. For jump rings, they know that you put it on a joint, but do you put it on top of the joint or in the joint if the wire's longer? Do you put it in it or on top of it? That was the question.
Well, you know what? Putting it in it is always better than on top of it. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll make a jump ring that is round, but it also has a leg that comes off, maybe just a 1/4 of an inch longer, and that's what'll go in. That's what goes in that seam. I got a pair of scissors here, and I'm gonna cut this off because I have a jump ring right here on the kayak, and it's right here. We can do it under my camera, I guess, Barb.
Oh, you want me to do a thing?
I think we can. Can we do that? Yeah.
Can you see
So that jump ring is laying down in all the way down to right here on this kayak. So it becomes part of the kayak itself, because you can't hang anything on points. But if you'll run your jump ring wire down into whatever you're building, but make it into a seam, and you'll find that it'll last forever, and it really looks good. So you can switch back, Barb. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I hope that answered their question. And then they wanted to know what they do after the patina. What do they do after the patina? Do they need to clean it again?
Oh yes, definitely. You want to,
all that kind of
after
stuff.
you patina your work, you always want to clean it. and then you can wax it in many different ways. You can wax it with Pledge furniture polish, which works real well, and then or you can use a non-abrasive soft car wax like a turtle wax in a bottle, and that seems to work really well. But hey, make sure that when you let the wax dry, make sure you let it dry before you buff it, because you're going to want to get every bit of that wax off, or it's just going to bubble up white on you, and then you're going to think that there's something wrong with the solder. But all it is you didn't clean it correctly with the once you put the wax on it. So.
Okay, and so Michelle is here tonight. And,
oh, hey, Michelle.
And
Thanks for
also,
tuning
she had
in.
one more question about jump ring.
Okay.
And did I give you the link to, or you watched the jump ring video? That's what it was. Okay. But do you put the jump ring in when you solder or after?
Oh, the jump ring is going to be the very last thing you do when you complete your project, yes. Before you patina it and wash it up, but it's the last thing that you're going to attach to your work, yes.
Hi, Texas Tom.
Hey, Texas Tom, how are you? Good to see you.
Magali's here.
Great. Magali, I'm glad you're
Rochelle's
safe
here.
after the storm.
A lot of people are here.
Oh, it's so
Brandon.
wonderful, everybody. It's a beautiful...
Very fresh water.
It's a beautiful weekend, and pretty much in the whole nation. And well, Barb Susan says she's a little closer to us now. She's in Kentucky.
Marianne, hi Marianne, and Carol's here. Deb Souls from Ohio. I think I've said hello to everyone. DS, hello from Van Nuys,
California. Yeah.
So everyone, hello. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But Bobby, hi Bobby. Good to see you.
Yeah. So thank you
Good to
everybody
know
for
you're
tuning
here.
in from
Joan,
all over the
and Joan Marrow's here.
all over
Okay.
this great nation of ours. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Emergify from Florida. Hi guys.
Yeah. So don't forget, get a Q in front of that question. Shoot it to Barb. She'll shoot it over, and we'll be able to take a look at it and see if we can help you answer it.
Hi Sally. Sally's from Tool Studios in Northern California.
Hey. Good to see you.
So the weather's good where you are for this one day. It seems like we have some calm weather for Labor Day. It's fabulous.
Yeah,
We had a
yeah.
beautiful day. Just a reminder, there's some glass sales going on in October 6th and 7th. Yakagani and Wismac are both having a
Warehouse sale. Right?
warehouse sale.
A warehouse sale.
October 6th and 7th, and I think that's for both of them.
Well,
yes, both days.
Yeah, apparently.
One's in PA, one's in West Virginia.
Apparently, Yakagani is just like an hour or so away from Wismac, so hour and a half. So you could probably hit both places. Just a reminder, make sure you bring your own packing materials to both places.
And boxes.
And boxes, everything that you're going to need, because they're just selling glass, they said. And I don't blame them, so.
And also, Sunshine still has the Grinder 3 on sale for $199.
Right,
So
and you
if
know what,
haven't had a
Barb?
chance
We
to get one.
probably
What?
should thank our sponsor tonight.
Oh yeah, let's thank Sunshine.
So we want to go ahead and thank Sunshine Glass for sponsoring tonight's show. And remember, when for your hand tools or any of your glass needs, especially glass for sure, they have over 1,500 different colors and textures from all the manufacturers. So give them a holler, and if Sunshine can help you, you know they will. Just say hi to Scott and Sean and Barb. Tell them Barb and Ed said hi. Thank you guys. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for sponsoring our show.
And if you need that Grinder 3, call them. They got it. And a lot of places don't even have it.
Oh, I
It's
know,
been
they're out of
selling
it, right,
But
yeah.
they got it at a good price, so
Yeah.
give them a call.
Sunshine's got it, and it's a good price. So.
Magali, we didn't have any damage from the storm at all. We were very lucky. I hope you didn't as well.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. So.
Magali said she just ordered a new bit from the grinder for Inland Wizard. Yeah, you're going to love it, right?
Yeah, that snap-on
Changes
bit,
things.
yeah, it changes everything.
Pauline wanted to know, can you tell us about the window right in back of us? I seen you cutting and fixing it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know what? It made it from the fabrication room to the YouTube room tonight. This window was found on the side of the road, and then we're going to show you how we fixed it up coming on at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight. We'll show you how we restored this window.
Start to finish, everybody.
Start to finish. He shows you how the frame is made as well. So those of you that are just starting out, you know, you want to know how to use this framing material. Ed shows you how to use it. There were questions.
Yes, there were questions about it.
We have another framing video, but this answers some of the questions from the previous video.
Right.
So I think you all are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, please, everybody, watch the whole thing. It's 9 minutes and 54 seconds of your time, and we would appreciate it. And you'll probably, I'm guessing, probably learn a little something.
Yeah, put it on your bookshelf. You never know when that restore job is going to.
And always remember,
Come
when
into
you
your
when you
studio.
have a painted medallion like this piece here in the center, only clean it with distilled water, everybody. Don't forget.
Lena's here too.
Hey, Lena.
Yes, it was found on the side of the road. The customer found it on the side of the road. The window was messed up, but can you believe this? That medallion was not even
There's not
damaged
even a cracked
at
piece of
all.
glass.
Not even a piece of cracked glass or nothing. It's beautiful.
And
So-
it's 20 inches in diameter, that medallion. So the overall window is 40 inches wide and 45 inches tall. And we'll be delivering it to our customer on Thursday.
But it's painted and then it's leaded. You know, it's not just one piece of glass that's been painted. It's leaded
It's several
together.
pieces
So
of
I think
glass.
that's what kind of kept it from getting broken. It wasn't so fragile.
Yeah, you know,
right?
because in some churches you see the medallion, and it's just one solid piece of beautifully painted glass. Well, this is probably 70 pieces of beautifully painted glass, and the caming that they use to put it together is very stiff. It's lead, it's not zinc, but it is really
That's why
stiff
I think
lead.
it's older. That's why I think it might be from the 20s or the 30s.
Well, you know, it's very possible, because I was able to, I needed the glass for the border in this. And, you know, I was able to call Sean up at Sunshine and say, hey, you know that glass that's in all the old church windows that's got 5 colors in it, and it's streaky and it's granite and it's clear? And you know what Sean tells me? He says, Ed, that sounds like a 238 Wismac. So boom, drop me one in the mail, and guess what? It worked perfect. It was an identical match. So, because we needed to add a border to the top and the bottom and replace 2 pieces in the sides on the vertical. So it worked perfect, actually.
yeah, we're perfect. So you'll see all about it.
Yeah.
It'll
So
show
enjoy
you
the
all
video,
details.
and, you know, and make sure, like, you know, and if you have any questions about the video, please get them to bring them to us next Monday night. The window won't be here after Thursday, but we'll be happy to answer your questions about the video. So.
Yes, definitely. Michelle says she has heard someone say they use spray paint on their solder instead of patina. What do you think of that? They use painter's tape to cover the glass. It sounds like they
Sounds
might.
like a lot of work.
It sounds like they might be spray painting
With
the
lacquer.
outside edge. You know, some people put a zinc border around the outside edge, and
And
they'll paint that black.
They will paint it black, yes.
So that would be the only thing that I would advise to paint. You don't want to paint your lead. It's not meant to be painted.
No, and you don't want to paint your solder. That's
They don't make primer for lead,
no, they don't.
and therefore it wouldn't last. So
Right.
you would just be creating a nuisance for your customer.
Well,
I
and you'd
mean,
be creating an awful lot more work than what you need to be doing, unless you're charging a lot
There's
of money.
no reason to
Yeah, there's
paint
no
it.
reason for it. I'm
so
sorry.
I'm not sure that that's
But I
advisable.
have, I have seen people, after they apply zinc to the outside of their windows, tape it off and spray paint them black. And I have seen that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
That just gives it zinc a different look.
Yeah, because you know zinc, even when you use zinc.
Oh, who's that?
Hi, it's Miss Mary, everybody.
Hey,
She's
Miss
saying hi.
Mary.
She's saying hi to everybody.
Say hello to everybody.
Hi, how's my baby girl?
Say hello to everybody.
She's doing really well, everybody. She hasn't gained any weight lately, and
Let's see if we can catch her on camera.
she said that she's feeling better,
Nope.
and but she's doing real well.
She's
So
doing
we want to
good.
thank you for all the well wishes that come in from Miss Mary too. Y'all don't just wish us well; you make sure that you wish the Miss Mary well too. So
So
Everybody
Val
says
said
hi. Val
Let's
says
see-
hi.
Let's see if we can get her. I don't know why she's not. There she is.
You can get part of her.
Let me get her on.
Anyway, Barbara's going to try and get her on camera, and we're going to talk a little bit about glass. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit in Glass Chat. We're going to talk a little bit about soldering and the uses of our iron and what we want to be able to, we want to be able to use a rheostat and so that we can control the temperature, so that we can control our glass and our solder. And there she is, everybody. There's Miss Mary. She is so cute. Oh yeah, she's right in there. She's in there, Nana.
All right.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't
right
really see-
there. She's yawning now.
There she is.
There she
Okay.
is. She's so
Not a really
big.
good
But all your well wishes to Mary. We make sure we tell her all about you guys.
AK Martinez is here.
Okay.
Hey. Okay.
Wow.
What type of flux do you recommend?
We use ruby flux. We use ruby flux, and we recommend that flux because it's water based, it doesn't smoke, and it doesn't really, and it's very easy to clean up. So, and we've been using ruby flux in our studio for over 25 years now. So.
Mary hates the camera, so I don't know if I can get her on there today or not. Every time I turn the camera, she turns.
Yeah, so Adam.
There she is.
Adam, that's a good question, and you being new to the channel and also new to the craft. No, if you have a rheostat in the handle of the iron that you're presently using, you don't need another rheostat. We only need one rheostat, and what that does is the rheostat controls the temperature of your iron, because nobody needs to work with their iron wide open at 600 or at 700 or 800 degrees. There's no reason for it. So, because when your iron's just sitting there idling, you don't want it turning black and getting all these little pits on it, because that's going to cause you to have to re-tin your iron. So what you want to do is you actually would like to, when you're using your iron, you would like it to look just like that.
Can they see that?
I don't know.
Can they put the close-up?
Put the close-up on it. So this iron is just running, and you see that beautiful gold tip? There you go. I just cleaned it, and that'll come back to gold. And you know what? That's the temperature that I want to work at, because on my rheostat, leave that right there just for a second.
I will.
On my rheostat, I'm pointed out at number 8. That is only 80% of the power that can go to my iron. And here we go again. Look at that beautiful gold, blue, purple. That's the temperature of a working iron right there. Okay. I'm sorry, Barb. I just wanted to share that with Adam. And
Magali was just saying everybody needs to give a thumbs up. Thank you, Magali.
Thank you, Magali. Appreciate that. We appreciate you.
AK Martinez is sharing. She's super excited. She tried something new, putting pressed flowers between glass.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Her mom, for my mom, but added some flowers in it. Looks awesome. Getting ready for solder.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. And, you always have to, it makes beautiful. You can do the same thing with wedding invitations or christening invitations, any of those things, and you can put them in the jewelry boxes and give them as gifts to the people that actually sent you the
What?
the invitation. You can give them an invitation back in a jewelry box between two pieces of glass, either in the lid or in the bottom. You can be so creative with it, and that's wonderful. I'm glad you're enjoying putting flowers in between the glasses, because it is really pretty.
Pauline says she has a Weller, but it's a 25. Is there anything that you can use for that 25? That Weller 25?
A Weller 25? No, that iron, that's a 25 watt iron. It's going to take a long time to recuperate the heat, not only to get to temperature, but it's going to take a long time to recuperate the heat. And I would venture to say, an 80 to 100 watt iron is a great iron to work with. But I will also say that I have an 1140 Weller. Is it a Weller? Let me think.
Unger.
It's an Unger. It's an 1140, but it's a 45 watt, and I like it. But I have found, y'all, I cleaned up this little 100 watt studio iron right here, and it will stay right there with the best of the irons that I have in the glass studio. And I'm really happy with it, and it holds the temperature really well. And as long as I can control the temperature, I can control my solder, which means I can control my soldering. And that's what I like. I like to be able to control it.
Thank you, Ed. Alan has a question. He found a little notcher for sale, but it's only for zinc, copper, or brass cane. Is there a 45-degree notcher for lead cane?
No, there's a really good pair of Lepinette lead nippers that I use in my studio. But hey, if you find the notcher for brass and that stuff, you need to just go ahead and get it anyway, because I don't know where you can find them. So you really need to get that. And the little crimper thing that does the brass and everything, Alan, will probably do lead as well. But you know what? If you take a pair of lead nippers, and I don't have any lead here, but if you take a pair of lead nippers and you go in 45 there, 45 there, or 22 and a half, 135, 135, and take that little piece out, you can fold that lead and get that angle that you want. If you're wanting to do it in one, like one piece where it just did that for you, boom. You can take the little notches out of one side of the heart on the lead, and it'll fold up for you just the same way like air conditioning ductwork would, I guess you would say.
Pauline, what would it be good for decoration? Yeah, it might be good for decorative soldering, Pauline, because you do use a low iron, especially when you're making just like little ridges or something.
Okay, yeah.
Just little ridges.
Yeah, low temperature irons are great for decorative soldering.
I had a question from Glasslight. How do you care for the iron tip? Did you just go over that?
Yeah, I just went over that.
You just went over that.
I just went over that.
Just go back.
But we're gonna go. Well, we're gonna go over it again in glass chat too. So,
he's gonna go. Just wait a few minutes and we'll go over it.
Yeah,
again.
don't go away now.
Don't go
just
away.
disappear. Yeah, I am Alan. We'll shop there for our some specialty stuff.
Did he have a question earlier, or
we talked about the
little
the
notcher.
notchers?
Yeah. Franklin Art Glass. Yeah, they're a good company too. Okay, Kevin, I think they're sold out at that price. I think they're sold out.
We already checked it.
We checked it. Yeah.
But thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, Kevin. We appreciate it. Any other questions?
I hope you bought one while they were that cheap.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about them, you should have bought one.
Our friends over there. Yeah, they're good guys. Okay, fellas, give us some more questions, and we'll be happy to answer. Put your question in the chat with a Q. You want to do a
scroll on up?
Is it what? What do you mean scroll on?
I don't know. Scroll on up.
I don't want to scroll up.
Well, I don't want to miss anybody. That's all, right?
Don't. I think Magali was keeping track.
Oh, thank you, Magali.
She told me I am Alan Hunt. Okay. Glasslight, first time here, your live chat just popped up on my phone. Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
We like that.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's because it's Glass Chat and your name is Glass, so maybe they put us together. Maybe the algorithm found you.
Yeah, the Glass Light. I like that. I like that name, Glass Light.
Yeah.
Glass Light on Glass Night. That's what we like.
Yeah, that's good. Welcome.
Yeah,
We're glad
welcome.
you're here.
Welcome everybody that's here tonight.
If you have a question, just put it in the chat with a Q. I think Ed's going to do a...
Well, we're going to talk about some things.
You need more light on that. Your light is not good there. I'm sorry, but we need to improve that light for your...
Okay, well, I wore a bright shirt, and I was hoping that would help.
I like it.
I did wear a bright colored shirt.
That's better. You had a shadow. And you got some more, right?
Well, I had a shadow, and I shaved earlier and got rid of that shadow.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Gosh, now I'm too bright.
Any
Just
tips
kidding.
on foil wrapping tiny pieces?
Be very careful and get an X-Acto knife and put it at your workbench while you're foiling tiny pieces, because if they're tiny pieces and you're using just the normal 7/32 foil, you're probably going to end up having to cut some of it back just so that you can see that piece that you took so much time to cut, grind, and now you're foiling it. So go ahead and cut the foil back away from those edges and allow that glass to shine, or try and use a 3/16 foil on your small pieces, because that will eliminate some of the X-Acto knife work for you.
Julie said, if you need to make a correction to something that is already patinaed, what is the process?
Okay, Julie, here we go. So what you want to do, first thing you want to do is just steel wool the patina off of it and do what Barbara calls make it disappear. So you'll take in that particular piece, stand the piece up like that, and then take your soldering iron and get rid of the solder that you need to get rid of. Because if you hold it up and melt that and just drag it down, it'll run right to the table, and then that'll eliminate the solder in that position, in that point where you need to work, and then just resolder it, patina it, clean it back up, and go. I think that answers your question, Julie. I hope it does.
Yeah, you just need to get that patina off with
Yeah, and
steel
we're
wool.
gonna Barbara. I was watching Barbara as she does some of her videos, and when she erases something, I just get so excited. So tonight we're gonna erase it. We're gonna show you how to erase something to repair it.
Okay. Magali's filling in for Ray tonight.
Okay, thank you, Magali.
We appreciate you. Any questions? Put them in the chat with
You're so
Q,
funny.
and
You're so
we'll
funny.
be happy to answer. You
Yeah.
ready to get started on your
Well, I think we
soldering?
can. We can talk a little bit about it.
We have a question.
Okay, let's get a question.
When framing with you came, when does one miter edge 45-degree versus perpendicular joints? Are 90 joints structurally stronger?
Well, actually, the 45 joint is stronger than just butting two pieces of lead up against like that. So if you do miter those, then yes, it's stronger. And always when you're using U-cane on the outside, make sure that everywhere that cane touches a solder joint in your copper foil work, that you solder that U-cane to that solder joint. So make sure you do that. And you shouldn't really have any problems if you'll do that. Because, hobby U-cane is much stiffer than other leads. So because they're allowing you to use it around the outside, they've made it much stiffer. And it bites about 1/16 of an inch around the edge. But make sure that it is attached everywhere that you can attach it to your work if you're going to use it. So.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Do you recommend a foiler?
Well, I have the old Glass Star foiler, and that one I like a lot. But we also have a foiler on our Amazon storefront that we do recommend, because we wouldn't have it there if we didn't recommend it. Simply just because Glass Star is not in the business of making foilers anymore. But if you'll go to our storefront page on our Amazon page and tools and supplies. Isn't there a foiler there?
I think so, honey, but
I think
I thought
there
it
is.
was the one that we had.
But you
had
know
in
what?
the
Hey,
back,
if you'll give Sunshine a call, ask Sean, because they have 3 different foilers that they sell up there, and
the only one I can recommend is the Glass Star, because that's the only one I've ever used and still use to this day.
right.
We have another one, but I
have
don't
an electric
like
one
it.
with a foot pedal.
Yeah, I don't like it as much as the Glass Star.
I don't either.
So call Scott and see what he's got.
Yeah,
I haven't had to buy one.
We haven't had to buy one in years. So, but give Sean or Scott a call and see which one that they recommend, because, the best foiler that you can get are your hands.
Kat St. Jane says she loves her table foiler. Yeah, that's what it's called, a table foiler.
Table foiler.
Yeah. So you know what? I haven't sat down and really tried to use it. That's probably I'm just spoiled with the Glass Star, but I will try it. Um,
We have
Ask
a table.
Ed if he ever used an old gas soldering iron.
I have not,
That's
Les.
Les.
Yeah, I have not, Les. I have not. I see Derek using his gas soldering irons all the time when I'm watching his channel, and the other gentleman that uses just strictly English muffle glass. But I see them using those gas irons. I think it's pretty cool way to do it. I stay hot all the time. I don't need something hotter though.
Yeah, we don't have the facilities.
I don't have
to
the
do that.
facility to feel comfortable using a gas iron. So.
Yeah, we don't have the facility to use a gas at the workbench. But gas is more plentiful, I would imagine,
Sure.
in the UK than it is in the southern United States. Okay.
Yeah, we have gas, but it's over yonder.
Yeah, it's on that side of the building. Okay. Another question. Michelle says she has a Weller and keeps getting black spots on the tip. Sounds like you're running it too hot.
Too hot.
Use the rheostat for temperature control and constantly clean, but still get black spots. It's too hot.
You're just still running too hot. You're just
Turn
running
it
too
down
hot.
just a bit.
Just keep backing it down because I'm gonna have Barbara switch over to this camera right here, and I'm gonna show you something. Now, since we talked last, everybody, and I'm trying to train myself to talk to the camera, and because I really want to be talking to you guys, okay? So, but since we left the soldering iron just a few minutes ago, it's still sitting there, and I'm going to pick it up right now. I haven't done anything to it. I'm not going to wipe it off, not going to do nothing. And I want you to see the color. You ready? Think I got the temperature right on this bad boy?
You want it with close up?
Yeah, close up.
Nope. You gotta let it. There you go.
There you go. Look at
There
that.
you go.
You see that blue purple? That is the ultimate temperature, or the optimum temperature for your soldering iron, y'all. Now, while you're using that, now this iron, this wasn't new. This was a student iron. I grabbed it out of the student classes, but you can see on the side right here, it's got a little bit of junk, but that just cleans right up. You see that? Did you see it? It's right here. That junk is right here. This isn't wet. I can't wring water out of this paper towel. It's that dry, but it's wet. Okay, so what? You see the junk right there? It's junk. Trash. My trash is gone. Now I have a nice clean iron again. Now watch. It's going to go back to gold. Now it's purple. And that's it. That's as blue as it's going to get, y'all. Okay? So think about that. While you're doing a temperature control, you want to keep that iron so that it doesn't produce those black tips and everything. Now we also tell you, we have a video that tells you how to, when your iron is cool, take it apart and steel wool all these different parts on it.
I think you did
And I did a video on that.
You did a glass chat.
We did a glass chat on it. That's right. So again, I'm sitting here holding this. This is purple. But I can tell you what, if your iron's not working real good, you see this right here? If this gets really thick, now my iron's on. If that gets really thick and nasty, it'll build up and it'll absorb the heat out of the heating element, okay? This is our heater. This is a copper tip, okay? And it goes up in here and it heats it up, and then of course it transfers the heat. So this is, taking care of your iron is imperative. They're so expensive these days. I mean, they're, I don't know, $30, $40. So you want to take care of them. This Weller 100 watt studio iron, this is the W100P. This is a really nice iron for everybody. And it's a great iron to start out on. So this is something, I'm going to reach up here because I hadn't cleaned these yet. So have y'all ever had that happen to your copper foil? You see that bright green vertigo looking stuff right there? Well, that is not going to solder. But if I take steel wool, now this is just comes from letting it sit too long, y'all, without soldering it. And this is why I say you always finish it when you start it. Okay? You always finish it when you start it. But if you'll take steel wool, once your copper foil has oxidized, then we'll get this right here. I'm going to get right in the middle. There we go. Okay. So we're going to learn, those of you that are new, not only to the channel, but to the craft, we're going to learn we're going to talk a little bit about touch and go soldering. And we're also going to talk a little bit about using flux. Now, there's nowhere anywhere in any of the rule books or anything or direction books that tell you that they prefer if you boiled your solder first, your flux first. So we don't want to do that. So to eliminate getting too much flux on your brush, if you'll take and cut the hairs down like that, cut them off short, okay? Cut those hairs off short. You're going to get a little bit of flux on it, and then knock it off. And we're gonna put our flux right there. Okay, just like that. So the first thing we want to do, because I don't want this kayak moving, is we're going to take it and we're going to tack it. And this is what happens when you don't flux. You see that? So if we flux, then it sticks. If we don't flux it, it won't stick. So a simple method for those of you that are beginning is called a touch and go. I like to melt a little bit of solder, go straight down and pick straight up. Straight down, straight up. Straight down, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know, the great thing about touch and go soldering is you don't have to be able to count any higher than 2. Okay, you ready? 1, 2. 1, 2.
That's good for you then, right?
1, 2. It is for me tonight. 1,
Yeah,
2.
okay.
Okay, so if you do that touch and go soldering, it will help you. But the other thing I want you to remember, and I think we can see this pretty good, is I'm going to start right here and I'm going to do my 1, 2, and then watch this. This solder behind my iron, and I'm turning my iron on a 45 degrees. I'm going to let the solder melt and I'm going to pull slowly. 1, 2. Just keep pulling. Keep the solder melting behind your tip of your iron. Look at this. If you'll do the 1, 2 first, touch and go soldering, and then drop back and pull it. Here's 2 things you have to remember when you're soldering. You have to give the
Main cam.
Yeah, I was still looking at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to remember, I have shorts on. I can't get that soldering iron over my legs. You have to remember 2 things. You have to give the solder time to melt, okay? Mm-hmm. And your soldering iron is not a paintbrush. You don't need to be swinging and moving your iron around to solder. If we could go back to the close-up cam, Barb, we're going to do a 1, 2. And we're just going to talk a little bit more about it, and then
and we're going to go to viewer showcase in 1 minute.
1 minute. So,
And I have a couple other questions. So after the viewer showcase,
okay, I'm sorry.
Get our questions. We'll come back, but we have to. Okay, go ahead.
So remember, it's just 1, 2. Give it time to melt. Straight down, straight up. Straight down, straight up. 1, 2, straight up, just like that. Okay. I think that everybody. And that's really,
That looks great.
That's good, y'all. Okay. So I only got like 7 seconds left. So we're switching over to Viewer Showcase. I'm in.
I just want to get Viewer Showcase in, and then we can
We're fine.
answer more questions because I got 3 more questions.
Yeah, and if
I
we
don't
have
wanna
more questions,
run out of time.
we don't want to run out of time. So everybody, here's Viewer Showcase.
Okay.
Hey, Miss Mary.
Viewer Showcase tonight, September 4th, 2023. First up, Julie Graves. Julie did this beautiful stained glass lamp. She just made it, and she thanks us for all our help. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie,
being
because you
such
know,
a
like I told you,
valuable member of our community.
you are, and making your first flat panel lamp I love the water lilies, and I am just really I'm impressed with the way that lamp looks. Congratulations, Julie.
And let's see, next up is LaRonda. And this is LaRonda's first piece. I believe it is a combination of copper foil and lead. Is that right, LaRonda?
I don't know, but it's got some 3 rondelles in it. Boy, those are pretty. That's nice. Nice job, LaRonda. And thank you for watching the ARTyRV channel and tuning in.
It started as a lead piece and she ran into technical difficulties and finished it up as a copper foil piece. Very good.
That's
Very
okay.
good, LaRonda.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never
and
give
good
up.
job on the frame too. So
Yeah,
there you go.
That looks like the pre-grooved wood.
Is it?
I don't know, but a good job on the frame too. Everything looks really nice, and it is copper foil. She says, "Okay."
Okay. If you'd like to be in Viewer Showcase, send an email to viewershowcase@gmail.com, and we'll get you in the next Viewer Showcase. It will be the October Viewer Showcase.
Sure will.
And,
Wow, God, this
thank
time
you guys
is
so
flying by,
much for that information. Great work, y'all. Okay, let me make it back up to these questions. I missed a couple. Michelle said she keeps getting black spots. Did we answer that on the tip of her arm?
Well, I think we did, because I just showed everybody the color that tip needs to be.
Okay.
And the fact that you know what, we needed to get the Viewer Showcase, but you know, here's one thing that some of you may not know. So when you're done using your iron, okay, so and I've turned mine off like a.
I think I'm back where.
Like a numbie.
Okay.
So when you're using your iron, y'all, and so when you're done with it, you're done with your last little bit of solder. You're gonna take your damp cloth, okay, and wipe it off. Give me a close up, Barb.
I sure will.
So we're gonna take and wipe it off, and you see, it's clean. Okay, look how shiny that. Woo! Look how shiny that is. Now, before you put this away, this is what I want you to do. And if you'll do this, you'll never have to worry about tinning your iron. I just turned it back up. Okay, there's that. And there's that. And you know what? Now turn it off.
Okay.
Set it off to your Set it off on the side of your workbench in your iron stand horizontally, and allow that solder that you just put on there to cool on top of the tip. You know what this does? It protects the tip from any oxidation that may occur during the process while you're not using it. That is very important. The other thing is, this gives you something to clean off besides trash when you start soldering. Typically when you start soldering, the first thing that burns off your iron is all the trash that's collected while you haven't been soldering. Dust and dirt.
That was a question.
Those are your black spots.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Sometimes.
soldering irons are really funny, y'all. You've got to take care of them, and they will take care of you and make your work look absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, Rick says, sometimes when soldering, I get a dark substance on the glass. Is that from too much flux?
Yes. Yeah, you're boiling the flux, and now it's going from red to brown. It's kind of like butter. You get the butter really hot, it goes from a really beautiful substance to the brown butter. But now brown butter spooned over lake trout is where I need to be with some pecans on it.
Scallops.
Yeah, brown butter over scallops with pecans.
Julie wants to know, what is the number steel wool to use to clean the copper foil?
I used a 4/0, which is 4 zeros. It's pretty fine.
Carol wants to know, how do you protect a piece in process to keep the copper foil from going bad? How long do you have?
Okay, here's the thing. If you start soldering, finish it. If you're just foiling and it's on the table, make sure when you leave every evening you cover it up and keeps the moisture, the dampness in the air off of the copper foil, and it also keeps the dust and everything from getting on it. So if you let it sit more than 2 or 3 days, you're gonna have to steel wool the whole piece. And then you need to be careful because you can peel the foil up. So here's my thing. If you take the time to foil it and get it all done one day, cover it up, go home, the very next day get in there and solder it. And unless you can finish it, you don't start soldering. But you need to finish it. Once you start, finish it.
Yeah, finish soldering it, clean it up, cover it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I cover up my lead windows every night before I leave.
Once you get that flux on there, you need to clean it off. Then you're good to go.
Yeah, do not leave flux on overnight for sure. That's why I say if you're gonna start soldering, finish soldering.
Susan B said when she first started, she was taught to tin each piece with a thin layer of solder. What do you think about that?
Well, Susan, you can tin each piece like that. Not each individual piece that goes on the inside. I prefer to tack everything together so that it doesn't move. The only thing that should get tinned is if you're not going to do anything to the outside except tin it and then beat it up and make it rounded. But yeah, you don't have to tin each individual piece. Susan, with the cost of solder these days, you don't want to do any more soldering than you absolutely have to. But yeah, tinning each piece doesn't have to be done, hon.
Tinning each piece may be problematic because there may be...
Can't fit them.
They won't fit exactly the same. You see what I mean? Because even if it's just tinned, every once in a while you're going to get that little something or other.
What do you call it? A flare.
Yeah, flare or
maybe
whatever.
A flare on it. But so if you'll tack everything together, just tack it, tack it all together, flip it over, and then solder it and go on.
And there are times that you do have to tin everything, and I'm trying to think of when that would be. But I know that I've done it before, and I can't think of what. I think it's when you're putting 3D things together, you need to tin all the way around.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to be building 3D or sculpture pieces, you have to tin everything because you don't know what you're going to need to solder and what you're not going to need, and you don't know what's going to show and what's not going to show.
So if you're making the little flowers, you'll want to tin everything, so it all goes together and you have that.
Right. But you know what, Susan? Thanks for bringing that up because there's a lot of people that may still do that, and it's really uncalled for. So that's good.
But may be necessary in certain projects. Do you need enough flux to flow between the pieces? I typically just apply a very small amount. Should I use a bit more to flow between?
Absolutely not, because there's no solder. You're not sticking stuff in between, Adam. What you want to do is just use enough to flux where you're soldering, and you definitely don't want to get it so much flux on there that it starts to boil. Boiling flux will leave pucker marks and potholes in your solder.
Yeah, and it's very messy, and it's hard to get off.
Well, and it spits and sputters, and if it spits and sputters on your arms or whatever, you could get burned very easily. So,
too much solder can ruin a good piece of glass. You're right.
It sure can, Les. You can build that stuff up.
Too much solder.
Yeah, too much. It's kind of like caulking, Les. If you don't put your fingers in it, it looks pretty good.
Till then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Rosie is here. Hi, Rosie.
Hey, Rosie. Thanks for coming in tonight.
So those of you that are watching this on the rerun, girl, those of you that are watching us
She's
on
hungry.
the rerun,
It's time for Miss Mary to eat.
we
y'all.
welcome you. Thank you for watching. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. I think Mary's hungry. Hey, we have 5 more minutes before the other show comes on.
I know we have 5 more minutes. We're gonna need a. She's gonna probably need a treat,
I'm going to get her a
producer.
biscuit.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so Barbara's going to grab Miss Mary a treat because, we keep them here for her because that's just the kind of gal she is. They're on the shelf above the sink
Why are you being like that?
because she's hungry and she didn't eat before she left home.
Okay. All right. That's all
She
right.
was so excited to come with us today. She had a day off, and we got her yard cut.
Okay, Ella, good to see you here tonight. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, watch it on the rerun.
Please do, and remember, when you're watching this on the rerun, please join us every Monday night, not just a Monday night when we feel like it, but every Monday night at 7 o'clock, whether it's for Glass Chat, whether it's for Viewer Showcase, or
Q&A.
just to ask us a question. Please join us on Monday nights.
Okay, Pauline wants to know how we did during the storm. We did fine, Pauline. We
We
didn't
did
have
fine.
any problem whatsoever.
Thank you for asking.
It was kind of scary and anticipating the storm, but it was fine. We had no problems. John says thank you.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
welcome,
so-
John. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
So we have the new video coming up at 8 o'clock, and this should go right to it, or at the end of this, there's a link at the end that you can go right to it.
So please take the time, those of you watching that are in the chat tonight, please take the time to watch this video. And
Lena wants to know what you use to cover your unfinished work.
I used brown paper, like a resin bond paper that you would cover your floors with.
You could just use
Anything.
newspaper, regular paper, notebook paper if it's a small piece. Something to keep the dust off.
Yeah, something to keep the dust off.
Because dust burns and you put your soldering iron on it, you're going to get trash.
Yeah, you'll get the trash in it. And it, too, now, though, we're talking about trash in your solder. If you're using an off-brand solder, a lot of that could be trash too. It could be in your solder. So I'm gonna tell y'all that Canfield is probably the best solder. Amberway is what I use, just because it's a couple dollars
Thank
a
you,
pound
Rosie.
cheaper, and there's no trash in it. And I like, of course, me, I like soldering with no trash.
That's true. You do. You like your solder clean. You like it to run clean.
We like it to run clean. That's right, and it should look good. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you've been soldering for 40 years or 40 hours. Just take the time, and if you'll use that touch and go method, that will get your confidence built up to where you can pull a bead like a grown-up.
Yeah, yeah. In October, we're going to have a little birthday party.
Well, we're having an anniversary party.
Yeah, we're
Right?
going to have an anniversary
Or is it
party.
birthday?
It's the anniversary party. It's our 3rd anniversary for ARTyRV. So we're going to give away prizes. Everyone that's a member will be automatically put in a drawing, all of the members, and we're going to be giving away prizes. We'll have prize packages.
We'll have
Could be
aprons and
aprons
hats.
and hats and tools and stuff like that. And then one prize we'll give to subscriber. I don't know.
We haven't figured out what that's going to be, but it's going to be a prize packet.
Yeah, but we don't know how we're going to get everyone's name in the hat. That's why we're limiting prizes to members.
Yeah.
But
Well, fan club members, yeah.
fan club members, yes. So all you fan club members, that'll be coming up in one of the October live streams.
Yeah. So we're working out all the bugs, trying to make sure everything gets
And if you're
loaded.
not a member yet, you can join. We
Please
have a few
Join the
extra
ARTyRV
perks,
fan
and
club.
we have people that have been with us for a year.
Over a
and-
year, yeah.
Over a
yeah.
year, and we'll
And we
be
want to thank you
celebrating
guys, and
them.
we'll be celebrating that too.
So it should be fun. It should be fun. And So if I have to keep track
It's
of the
8
time.
o'clock.
Oh, okay.
All right, y'all, we're going.
We're leaving.
We love you. Thank you so
Bye.
much. See you at the premiere. She's hungry. We'll get her some chicken tenders.